How to deploy Angular single page applications in an nginx container. We can make the single page applications available from a root URL like a localhost.com. In order to do this, we just have to do ng build and the app name. If you want to make it available from root/path URL, which is localhost.com/app name, then you have to build using this command by passing the base href parameter. Let's first see how to make this work. Let me pull the nginx docker image. It's already available in my machine. Now let me go to this file. Here you can see two commands. I will use the first command for showing this example from root URL. In this command you can see the volume mapping. This volume is getting mapped to nginx.conf within this folder, nginx.conf, and it's getting mapped to nginx.conf within the docker container. And the second volume mapping is pointed to the build path Apple app within the dist folder, and it is mapped to nginx HTML. Let me build the application once. Now let me run this command. It has started, and if you note that the docker container exposes port 80. Let me open in incognito mode. You can see the output here. Sports, the URL appears here, home. As we discussed before, there will be no problem with hash based routing. Let me remove this hash based routing. By default it will be history based routing. Let me build the app. Let me refresh. Let me restart this. The web page is showing up now. Let me check the routes. Let me refresh this. You can see this is getting loaded fine. History based routing is also loading fine. I will show you the nginx.conf file. So all the configurations here are default configurations only, but I have added these lines here. We are pointing to the root path, and any requests that reaches here will be loading index.html file, and index.html file of our application contains all the logic to load the web page. Let's check the second scenario, localhost.com/appleapp. Now I will go back to this file. I will execute this command. Here you can see that the volume mount is pointing to dist folder, not dist/appleapp. Now I will execute this command. The container has started. Now I will refresh this page. It's showing internal server error. Now I have to type this path. The web page is empty. We have to update the nginx.conf. Now we have pointed to dist folder, not dist/appleapp folder. If you go to nginx.conf, here any requests to slash is pointing to /index.html. If you look at the root path is not mentioned here, but by default this is the root path. So nginx will be checking for this root path, and it will match the index.html to this root path, but index.html is not available in this path. Index.html is available in path /html/appleapp/index.html. So if I add appleapp here and restart this, it's throwing an error. Let me change this. It has started. Still the application is not working. This is because we have not added the base href in our Angular build command. Let's add the base href. The build completed. Let's investigate the dist folder. In index.html you can see the base href code got added here. Now let's go back to nginx. Let's refresh this page. You can see the details now. Let me click sports. Let me refresh this. You can see the history based routing works now. I will go back to nginx.conf. Here the location points to slash. You can also change this to Apple app. It will still work, and you can expose the root path to access some other static files instead of this. Let me start the server again. It still works. So far we have seen how both these scenarios works with nginx container.